Welcome back, it's Monday, it's the best kind of Monday, it's Necromunda. We've got more freaks on a Monday, it looks like. This might not be every week going forward, I've no idea, but I hope it is, because frankly, there's nothing like some sort of weird lunatic to start the week off. It just gets you in the right mood for the rest of the time, you know? So we're going to have a look today at the Prophet of the Redemption. And the headline for this, I suspect, is not 100% accurate, but I'm loving the idea of it anyway. So the Prophet of the Redemption is here to encourage sensible, rational debate on Necromunda. Press X to doubt, I guess. So as they say, Necromunda was rocked by a series of seismic events during the Aranthian succession crisis which have irrevocably changed the dynamics of power. Lord Helmore was left on the brink of death by an assassination attempt. Lady Helmore offed a dozen of her siblings. She's such a good character, it's so good. The city of Cinderak was set alight in a series of explosive gang battles, and a colossal pilgrimage made its way to the cathedral hive of Temenos. At the head of this vast congregation was the Prophet of the Redemption, a mysterious preacher immortalised with a brand new miniature. Look at that actual lunatic. What is going on? Okay, so let's just see what he's about before we take a closer look at the lad. He emerged from the smouldering ruins of Cinderak City, adding his voice to the crazed choir of madmen and hive preachers that are commonplace on Necromunda, but what set him apart was his macabre banner made from the skeletal remains of a Redemptor priest. After all, it's not every day someone climbs out of the ruins with an artifact that grants an aura of unimpeachable divinity. Such is the overwhelming power of this enigmatic relic that enemies are cowed into inaction by its mere presence, and shots that should have the raving prophet dead to rights are diverted at the last possible moment. His most powerful weapon is no flamer or stub gun, but the absolute fanatical dedication and ardour he inspires in those who follow him. I mean, that is pretty solid. That's pretty solid. That's a good start. Also, I've just noticed something. There's an entirely different article here. Add a touch of the divine to your gang with the Cain Ministorum delegation. Did we ever look at this? I don't remember this at all. I have no... Have I somehow missed a quality Necromunda reveal? Is that what's happened here? Because I've got absolutely no memory of this whatsoever. This may as well have not happened for me, which is worrying, because generally speaking, we tend to keep on top of this stuff, but this lot, absolutely no idea. Well, I guess we'll take a look at those tomorrow. For now, though, the Prophet of the Redemption, I mean, he looks like an absolute lunatic. The banner is insane, like properly insane. That is fully just a dude's rib cage, cloak and skull, with flaming hat intact. Very impressive workmanship on that hat. I mean, if he emerged from rubble, kind of suggests that maybe there was an issue and that person might have died in quite a bad way, but the hat has remained completely intact, so well done on that front. The Prophet himself has got such an insane piece of headgear. Like, that looks like a mix of like a bishop's mitre and like a commissar's hat. It's got the peak at the front, it's got the big eagle, but it's also really tall and oddly shaped. Like, that is quite the bit of headgear right there. There's a ton of detail on it. It's like the hat is more detailed than the rest of the model, which is a crazy ratio, but there you go. I'm assuming that it is actually metal, in which case guy has got an absolutely iron neck. Like, you've got to have some severely strong muscles to keep that balanced the entire time, especially in the middle of a fight. Like, he's running around. Also, how have I only just noticed this? He's running around in, like, robo sandals? I don't know what else to describe those as. They are not an enclosed shoe, but they do seem to have some sort of shin-based shielding, and it goes over the knees as well. What is this model? What the hell is going on? He's got a very appropriate beard for a raving prophet. I feel like that's something of a trope. If you get like a madman out of the wastes who is just, you know, going on and is giving like prayers and speeches about doom and prophecy, they've got to have a solid beard going. No one's going to listen to you if you show up like fresh-faced, nice, clean, close shave, talking about this stuff. No one's going to pay any attention. You've got to have that wild, unkempt beard, or you just don't look the part. Literally a zealous lunatic holding a staff that is made out of a different zealous lunatic. I mean, as concepts go, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It looks like he's got some protection on like his shoulders and his upper arms, but then the rest of his arms are just almost bare, apart from a couple of straps. Again, the footwear and just leg situation is really confusing. I don't know what's happening there. We'll have to go back to the article in a minute and see if we can work out what the deal is, because what is that? He's got a good pair of shorts on, though. Got a good pair of shorts. You can't walk around with your coat hanging open and not wear a pair of shorts. That is, even on Necromunda, that's frowned on. Given what Necromunda is, where it is, and the state it's in, do you want to walk around without an enclosed shoe? I feel like you probably wouldn't, right? You'd want to keep those covered up. You don't know what you're going to step on. I mean, I feel like if you step on anything in Necromunda, there's at least a 50% chance that you'll get instantly poisoned by something horrendous. Come on. We do have a bit of a closer look as well. That hat is ridiculous. I mean, both hats are ridiculous, let's be honest. I mean, just saying that hat is ridiculous, it could apply to either of them. The hat on the dead dude on a stick is mad and, you know, flamey. And the hat on the dude carrying the dead dude on a stick is, it might not be a light currently, but it's still kind of insane. Just the size of it, the sheer size of that hat. It's like old school Nagash style, but at the same time, it's weirdly fitting. Like, it just seems to suit him, which I don't think you'd normally say about a hat like that. Oh, it looks like maybe he does have a bit of protection over the forearms. It's not just the biceps and stuff. There is actually no weapon that I can see. He's got some like straps going around the waist and around the chest, a couple of buckles, big old book. I mean, that makes sense, right? If ever there was a guy who needs to be carrying around a big book, this feels like the one. But yeah, I can't see any visible weapons unless he, you know, wields the dead dude on a stick as some sort of like flamey, blunt spear, which seems unlikely. I don't think he's going to have that in his like unit profile, you know? He is standing on a rock, but I'm not going to dock points for that. At least it's a pillar as opposed to just a natural outcropping, so that's something. Although again, given the context of the game that he's in, I feel like they could have done something a bit more interesting than that. Overall though, he looks mad. He looks mad, he looks full of life, full of vim, vigour, zealotry. I quite like him. Absolutely ridiculous, but, you know, in a fun way. So he's blessed by the Lost Saints, and as such, those who wish to do him harm must pass a willpower test in order to act, and even then they'll need to surmount a completely unmodifiable 3+ save in order to draw blood. Good grief. Not bad for a man whose primary ablative armour appears to be his unkempt beard. I mean, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing with this article. I really like that. That's very funny. That's... it's so daft, but in a good way. So as an outlaw hired gun, I mean obviously joining House Cordor, or crusading going, or any gang allied to Lady Credo's rebellion. Interesting, okay. Fourth World resin, but I'm not surprised about that at all. And the rules are in Necromunda, the Aranthian Succession, the Vaults of Temenos, because, you know, short and easily digestible book titles are for losers and nerds, apparently. Overall, solid. Solid. The Prophet of the Redemption is incredibly silly, but in the best way. And frankly, when it comes to Necromunda, I feel like we have a nice spread a lot of the time of weird horrors, just really weird people, and kind of silly weird people. I think he falls into the kind of silly weird people category, but he looks good at the same time, and it's a very fun idea. So, all good. Let me know what you think of that lad and the dead lad on a stick in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, you know the drill. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.